This one thing could be the reason your reality isn't shifting in the way you desire. And it starts with responsibility. Now, any alteration or upgrade of our reality always comes with an alteration or upgrade in responsibilities. But most of us have been trained to fear responsibility. And some of us carry an unconscious negative association with responsibility because we view it as obligation. And obligation is the father of resentment. But the thing about that is resentment can lower our frequency, and our frequency, as I've mentioned on previous videos, is what shapes our reality. So the reason this could be detrimental to getting our desires or allowing our desires to materialize is because if you have a unconscious belief that, okay, this desire is going to come with more responsibilities, which I have negative associations to, I might think I'm not ready for it, or I don't want that extra load or that extra pressure, or it's going to restrict my freedom in some way, when a lot of the times it's not going to do that. For example, you might be in an apartment and now you want a house, and that might come with the responsibility of, okay, now you have a garden and a front porch to maintain, and you might not want to take on that responsibility. So you might have to hire a gardener, and there might be other costs that you're subconsciously worrying about. And you might think, I'm so busy at work, I'm busy with kids, family, like I don't want to have these extra responsibilities and things to take care of. When in reality, you being in the house could mean, okay, now we can host birthdays in the garden. We don't have to do them externally all the time. We have the option of doing celebrations at home. We can invite more family over for family occasions, dinners, etc. And that's just a random example. But stop avoiding responsibilities like it's a cage, because it can be a key, depending on how you see it. A lot of the time, this idea that responsibilities are a burden is a bit outdated. It really depends on perspective. But yes, certain desires will come with a different set of responsibilities, and you have to be honest with yourself about what they could be and if you're ready. Because if you're not ready for those responsibilities, that's completely fine. But you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to understand yourself and understand that version of yourself. What responsibilities would they have, and am I willing to take those on if necessary? Because a lot of the time you might not even have to take on all those responsibilities that you're thinking of in your head. For example, you might want to go from employed to freelance work, and you might think, okay, now I might have to source my own work, maybe I have to learn Facebook ads. But you might not. You might make the transition, and work could start coming to you. You might take one job from someone, they recommend you, and it could be a snowball effect. That's similar to what happened to me in my line of work. And I don't have to go externally and try and source jobs because I'm at the point now where they come to me. And I was worried about that responsibility of having to source things at a certain point, but I let that go, right? And I just focused on taking action in any way I could, doing the work. And I was open to whatever would come, I would deal with it. That's how I look at it. Whatever comes, I will be able to deal with it, whatever it is. And when you're open like that, you stop blocking things subconsciously and you stop self-sabotaging, right? So that's another thing. So when you start treating responsibility like it's a key, because it can unlock more choices, more freedom, more power, right? If you're going from living with family to moving out, that's a whole new set of responsibilities, and you have to be willing to take them on. And you can see that as a burden, or you can see it as freeing, because okay, maybe now you can work on your passions more intently. If you moved from that apartment to the house, you might have an extra room. Now you can dedicate that room into office space, and you can take off more with your own personal business. And it goes on and on and on. There are so many examples. But when you stop treating responsibility like a cage and you see it as a key, and you're open to what your desired reality will bring, then a lot more opportunities will start popping up. They will, and it's crazy how it works. But I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.